Are you thinking about becoming a work camper? Do you have questions that you'd like to have answered? Well, stick around and we'll see if we can answer a couple of them. Hi, I'm Steve Turtle and I'm a work camper. This week I'm talking to a very good friend of mine about work camping. Questions about how to start work camping. He drove all the way down from Morgantown and he's going to sit down with me and we're going to talk. If you'd like to be a part of the conversation, stick around.
Well, Steve, thanks for having me, first of all.
Oh, absolutely.
Got a bunch of questions here for you, and I hope you can take the time out and square me away. My first question that I have for you is, what do you say to someone who's been in corporate America for many, many years, who's now interested in work camping? What advice do you have?
Well, I think there's a lot of different jobs that you can look at for work camping that go hand in hand with corporate America. I mean, there's campground jobs, which, you know, you're going to have to mow the grass and weed eat and things like that. That might not be something that you want to do, but there's...
Well, actually, on the contrary, that would be something I'm interested in doing. But I haven't had any experience. For example, my own personal situation, I haven't mowed a lawn since 1987.
That's not right.
It is for me.
Yeah, it's good, right?
But seriously.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm not very handy with tools. So why would a campground owner be interested in hiring me?
Well, how would you?
Or how would I present myself?
Well, how would you feel about it? I mean,
I don't have any problem with it. It's more of a hang-up for me to say, hey, wait a minute, Mr. Campground owner, please let me work for you. But I just want you to know I haven't mowed a lawn in 30 years.
There's a lot of different jobs that you could do that aren't necessarily mow the grass, weed eat, and maybe while doing those, you can pick up those other skills so that you're comfortable with it. Because you could work at a campground and work in the office if you wanted to. Or you could work at a campground doing something else. I know they have activity directors, positions for retail. You know, they have an ice cream shop or something like that. I don't know how you feel about retail, but...
I have no problem with it. My concern is, how do I present myself to a campground owner?
Right.
To hire someone who's...
Well, I think what you
and how do I put that on a resume?
Well, I have some information, and I think we can talk about that and work through that, because you want to look at the ad, and the ad, you know, they're going to tell you what they want. Now, some of them, a majority of them want an inside and outside person, one for the office and one for the outside. The outside person does from... Some do mowing, some do specifically cleaning. So it just depends on what you want to do. If you're not, if you don't want to do cleaning, just, you know, ignore those ads. But there's just a ton of different things other than that. Like the couple that's next to us, that's all they do is clean. They don't mow the grass, they don't weed eat. He does power wash every once in a while. Something like that, but for the most part, they clean our cabins and clean our restrooms, and that's it.
How far in advance should I start looking for work camping jobs?
I think that if you like this, if you're looking
we're in early summer.
If you're looking for campground jobs, they typically start April and run till September, October, usually the end of October.
Okay.
So if I'm looking for my winter job, I'm going to start after the summer job starts, okay? And the reason I do that, so let's say that's 6 months.
Okay.
The reason I do that is because that way I'm not looking at jobs that start in April, because I'm looking for a job starting in October.
So we're in June.
We're in June.
So you would start looking for
something now.
January.
Yeah. And I've seen, I was on there today and I've seen a handful of jobs for, you know, winter. But they're still looking for people for the spring because or for the summer, because this is an odd season. A lot of people haven't even opened up yet. Right. So
I've seen a lot of, mostly on some of the RV sites. We're looking for people now.
Yeah.
ASAP.
Oh yeah, ASAP. I've seen a bunch of those. I looked in Workamper News today, and it was 91 jobs that they're looking for people.
Right now.
No, yeah. And it's a mix of a whole bunch of different things, but some are looking for now and some are looking for winter. I saw one, they were looking through 2021. So they'd hire summer and winter for 2021.
How did you ever find your first Workamper?
Our first Workamper job was in Workamper News, and they called me up and said, hey.
So you put a resume together.
Yes, on
And
Workamper
submitted
News.
on Workamper News, and they said, hey.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
I mean,
You can imagine what my resume would look like.
Well,
Hasn't mowed a lawn.
well,
Is allergic to tools.
yeah, but you
This a guy.
you want to put the things down on your resume. Number one, that fit the job. So resumes should be tailored, but you can do a generic resume and then put the things down that relate. So you've had customer service, right? You work
2
with
years.
You work with customers, so customer service. That's a big one for working in the
I
office.
handled a lot of cash.
Responsible.
Register.
Yeah. So, people aren't necessarily looking for a guy that can jump on the lawnmower and cut grass all day. Sometimes they're looking for a guy that show up to work. And when he says he's going to be there, he's going to be there.
Okay.
Reliability. So there's a lot of skills that you have that will relate to, working for someone. And, does it sort of give you, maybe less people will look at you because you haven't, been on a lawnmower in 15 years, but there's a lot of people that will. It just depends on the job and what you want to do. There's a bunch of retail jobs out there, and I see more often, which I don't think you want to do, a lot of full-time positions where they want a maintenance guy full-time for those that want to do that.
How common is it for people to actually just pay a monthly rate or a seasonal rate at a campground and work outside of the campground? Is that fairly common?
I think it's common, but most people that do that end up staying longer than maybe you might want to do. But if that's okay with you, that's
So
fine.
maybe like oil field workers are probably.
Well, there's they move. I've got an ad I wanted to show you about gas lines, but I knew a couple when we were in Missouri, and they had lived in their camper the whole time I was there. They're still living in their camper. At the time, they each had jobs part-time. They were work camping and working outside the campground part-time, so they had both.
Okay.
But you could, as long as you can manage, the camp fees, then, and manage whatever needs you have, I think it's fine.
Well, I've got the 28 questions
Yeah.
that you posted.
Oh, okay. About asking campgrounds.
What?
Yeah.
And that was a really big help. I
good.
copied those and
Good.
definitely going to go with that.
And I continue to add to those. When I come up with some question, I'll put it down and we add that to our repertoire.
Repertoire.
Yeah, that's the one. But yeah, this couple that we were, working with, they were happy doing what they were doing. Now they wanted to go, they wanted to travel, but they just couldn't get started.
Really?
And I don't know why. He basically said, we got some bills we want to take care of, and once we get those taken care of, then we'll be ready. So, sometimes it takes a while to get ready.
Do you have any suggestions on what I should look for if the position that I'm interested in is on the other side of the country? The last thing I want to do is drive from the East Coast to the West Coast and not have this thing be what I expect it to be.
Well,
either for myself or the campground.
Right. And it's twofold, because they're under the same constraints as you are. They talk to you on the phone, you communicate in an email, you send them a resume and tell them that you walk on water, and they're expecting you to show up,
and walk on water.
And walk on water. But then you show up and, there's different things going on that they expected. So it's the same thing for them. What you do is you want to make sure that you ask all the questions, and don't be afraid to ask the questions. And if they don't give you the right answer, then maybe they're trying to hide something. You know what I mean? So when you ask them, is there any off-duty time that I have to put in where I don't get paid. And they go, well, maybe I don't know. If they're evasive, then maybe it's not the person that you want to work for. But if you ask the questions like, so what am I going to get paid after I do my 10 hours for my site? Do I get paid hourly? Or do I get money? Or you going to give me credit? Or how is that going to work? So you ask them.
And get it in writing, correct?
The best way is to get it in writing. And if they're okay with it, they'll put it in writing. And if they're sort of fuzzy about it, like I don't want to put it in writing, then you make a decision if you do or don't. If it's really, really good, and but that's the only way you can do it is through just asking questions, and hopefully they're telling you the right answers. I've heard stories where people show up. They drive all the way over there. They show up. Well, the other manager left that hired you, and we really don't want you, so sorry.
Nice day.
And I don't know how they sleep at night, but it's just wrong. But the only way that you can do it, is just ask a lot of questions, because I don't know that you can, even if you get it in writing, sort of say, well, you said this.
I go, okay.
And they're like, yeah,
Okay.
you got a lawyer, what are you going to sue me?
Well, did you have some questions that you had?
No, wait, where are we at here?
No.
All right, so
I got.
you asked me about the corporate America. I really think your question number 1 of 6 is
Versus 10 of 6.
Yeah, what you want to do first off is sit down and write up all the things that you think are valuable, that the work that you did, not how it applies to anything else, just what you did. Corporate America, you handled money, you worked, you made schedules, you made plans,
48 people.
You supervised people. So put down all of that, all of that, and then when you see an ad, you try to take that and go, well, I could do that. That is the same as that, because some of them will say, customer relations. Some of them, I saw one, it was, you even had to collect all the money for the month for all the camp fees, and then you give them to the ranger at a particular time that they come by and collect it all. So you got to make sure. You got to make sure it's all,
accounted.
If you had 20 campsites, you need $20 to match that. So
that'd be nice.
It's like, that's only 10 campsites, okay?
There's no money in there. Huh?
Yeah. All right, hold on. All right, question number 2 of 6. What about one's resume with corporate America? Okay, we did that one, right? And then 3 of 6. Okay, you said that. I have a couple examples here, and I just wanted to read. I don't know, it's like you don't have Workamper experience, but you have experience. And, dependability, reliability, motivation, initiative, and those types of things you can get from any job. And those are values that people, respect. But I took a couple jobs out of Workamper News, like this one from Arizona. They want office, bar, and restaurant support. So I don't know exactly what that is, but, that's not mowing the grass.
No.
Office could be managing the desk, or it could be
bar support.
Bar support. That sounds like, I'm sure you'd have
we
to
can do something with
test
that.
all the drinks. South Dakota, they're looking for reservations, front desk, camp store. So a lot of places have somebody that runs the store, and just sells the items and replenishes inventory and things like that. Event center, staff, food service, cleaning, housekeeping, maintenance, and grounds. Colorado had one. It was cleaning cabins and doing, I don't know how you feel about cleaning, but there's a lot of them because a lot of people don't like to clean.
My partner likes to clean.
Well, you could have her clean and you can work in the store.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Agnes. We'll have to cut that out.
Nah.
Part-time position in Texas for housekeeping and night host. So night host is probably just sort of being on call and being available.
And in Texas in the summer, that might not be that bad.
Yeah,
Temperature-wise.
So there's a lot of different aspects to a job. They're not all just, mow grass and take reservations. They're not. But see, if you were at a campground and you wanted to, hey, campground buddy, you're mowing the grass. Let me ride that thing one time,
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Well, I would also assume that if a campground is really looking and needs help quickly, they may be a lot more willing to take someone like myself who hasn't really dirtied his hands in a while.
Well, believe me,
but is willing to do it.
Just
hasn't done it.
There's a lot of old people that have retired from corporate America and that are now work camping, and you got to start somewhere.
Right.
And if you have the aptitude to do some of those things, then you'll grow into it.
I have the willingness. It's just
and you do one, then you got a little experience, and you can put that on your resume, and then you do another, and you got a little experience, and you can just sort of go from there. But I'm telling you, I think there's a lot of different jobs out, and I think someone could find something.
How often does Workamper news come out? Is that monthly?
The magazine is monthly, I think. I don't even know why I get a paper copy. March, April. So
Okay.
every other month. Yeah.
Okay. But do they post on their newsletter?
When they email,
Yeah. They come out when these jobs open up?
the way Workamper News works is if you have set an account with Workamper News for free, you'll get emails sent to you about job postings, but they'll be delayed 14 days.
Okay.
And if you sign up and have an account, they're delayed by 7. I think that's right. I may have messed that up. But I know there's a delay on both of those. And then if you are a member and you pay, then you get them immediate.
Okay.
So it just depends on the level, and I don't remember.
Okay.
Here's multiple locations. Need advertising sales reps. Sounds like insurance. Sales background and basic computer skills. So
Bingo.
That's you, right?
Where am I going?
Join our self-motivated RVers to connect with local businesses and campgrounds across the USA.
Oh, anywhere I want.
There you go.
Cool.
Here's one in South Texas, Hunting Ranch.
Oh.
Here you go. All right. Duties include clean small lodge, keep grounds clean, open the gate for the hunters,
Oh, I can do that.
and feed the animals.
No problem.
When hunters are here, barbecue evening meals
Perfect.
and maintain the campfire.
Ah,
A little log on the fire.
That's me.
And then here's the kicker.
What's the address?
Must be able to field dress a deer.
Sorry, Johnny. What do
I
we
knew
have
we
for
were
losers?
good. I figured we were good till then.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Ba-dum-bum.
Multiple locations. Love working outdoors. Travel, work, and play. Southern Cross. No prior experience needed. Is looking for full-time mobile field technicians. Gas leak surveyors.
Yeah.
You just walk around. Well, look, here you go. Starting pay is $11.50 an hour plus $300 per diem. Mileage
per diem.
Yep. Mileage,
If you live
reimbursement, medical, dental, vision, and 401k.
Wow. If you live through it, right?
It's really, they give you gadgets and stuff, and they train you for it and all that. It's an interesting job. You are a full-time employee for the company, and they move you about the country to inspect gas lines.
Okay.
Okay.
What else we got?
4th of 6 questions. How common is it for people to pay for their? Oh, you said that one already. Yep. And yeah, I don't know how often people do that, but the campground I was in before here, there were about 13 full-time residents, and most of them had jobs, but they never left. So I don't know if they're work campers or just living in a camper.
Wow. That was in Missouri?
Yep.
Okay.
You seen the movie,
I
right?
did. I liked it too.
I did
I
too.
wouldn't mess with those.
All right, 5 of 6. Okay, this is a good one. What advice would you give to a new full-timers who are just starting out regarding finances? And I forgot the first part. The past 4 months, people in their finances struggle, right?
Yeah.
So, especially with this virus thing.
Right. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think you need to do it right. You need a reserve of cash, savings account, a credit card that you can use in an emergency, and you're going to have to pay it back eventually. But
Right.
it's something that you can use as long as you have good
I would
credit.
assume that it would be based on your lifestyle,
Uh-huh.
what type of camper or RV you have.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Obviously, if you have a $300,000 motorhome, you're going to need to have it to reserve more money.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
And I guess my question is, what percentage? Because you can always talk about, because the percentage would be the same for someone who's got an expensive RV.
yeah, I think if I didn't look this up, but I think if you Google budgets and start reading into that, it'll sort of lead you to believe, and it's probably based on a household, not necessarily RVing, but they'll give you some kind of percentage. But I don't know if it would be accurate, because it would probably be, if you made $80,000 a year, you should put 3% away for whatever.
Right.
And I don't know if that's true. There might be some YouTubers out there that have put budgets on their websites or their YouTube videos. I don't have a percentage. I just put a lump sum, and that was just what we decided.
Well, the thing I want to be careful of is I don't want to create a budget where it almost I talk myself into not full timing.
Right.
Because I could easily do that.
Well,
wait a minute.
Well, we have a lifestyle that we enjoy, but we could do it with far less if we wanted to. Like, I have YouTube TV right now, and it's $58 a month. I don't need it. I have it because I want it, but I don't have to have it. So I start with the I don't have to haves, and then I start narrowing everything down. I got to have insurance. I got to pay my truck payment. Damn it.
A nice truck.
Yeah. So, you go through the things that you have to have and that you have to pay. And then you start looking at the things that you don't. And then, you get in a crisis. Well, you have your reserve, whatever that might be. And then you start going, okay, how can I cut back? How can I reduce cost? You drive out to BLM land, and you get your permit and you park for free, and you pay a dump.
Well, I guess that would also include, when you're looking for jobs that give you a campsite and an hourly rate versus one that just is for the campsite. Now, normally, right, it's less hours if you just for the campsite.
Just for the campsite, yes. So it depends on what you need. Like, if you didn't need extra money, then you could just, go work 10 hours and your campsite's paid. Get an hourly wage, which for me, I think is probably the best way to do it, because you've reduced your income. Your taxes are lower.
Right.
So I think that is probably the best way to do it, if you can. If you got a pension and you're drawing Social Security, or, you and wife both are drawing Social Security and you could do it without, there's lots of volunteer jobs.
Yeah.
But the best opportunity to make cash and have a place to stay is where somebody will pay you for all your hours and you get free site.
Yeah.
Now, I read a few, looking at those, they were, the first 10 hours that you work is towards your site.
Right.
And then the balance of that is paid at
I've seen several
$8, $9 an hour, whatever that is. So, and it depends on what you like.
Do most campgrounds who hire work campers go through Workamper News? Because to be honest with you, I've traveled around, particularly in Texas.
Yeah.
Great campgrounds, but I've never seen
ads for some.
Yeah.
Well,
and I'm very lucky. By the way, do you hire work campers?
Some don't. Some don't hire work campers. They want full-time staff. Some go through Facebook. Some go through Workers on Wheels. Some go through.
But it's not uncommon for someone to walk up to the manager and say, "Oh, by the way, do you hire work campers?"
Oh no, I do that to every campground I go to.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I go in and I go, "Hey, you hire work campers?" "Oh, you do? Well, here, I got a resume. Check this out, and maybe next year I'll give you a call."
Okay.
Or you give me a call. I think that's just good networking. We do that every time we find somebody that does. Now, have we ever had anybody call us yet? No, but I still do it.
Okay.
I think that's great. That's just networking. But I don't know. I think some campgrounds even like they get a couple that comes back every year. They go away for the winter and they come back every summer.
But they don't go away for the winter.
And
right?
and they go, oh, I love them and they're great. Yeah, or they just stay here. My boss, I got that truck. My boss goes, I was hoping you wouldn't get a truck.
Well, I don't know. Now that you got the new truck, you might have to stay till
That's what I told him. I
2024.
said, well, I didn't leave yet.
You might be here for quite
Forever.
a bit longer. That's right.
That's not funny. I'm ready. All right, where we at? All right, you asked me how I got my first work camping job. We talked about that, right?
Yep.
Wait, hold it. Did we do 7? Does a work camper solely rely on reviews posted by past? Oh, okay. When you put, I don't think so.
Okay.
You know, when people are looking at your resume, they see, they don't see anything from the campground that you previously worked at as far as, yeah, they were great, or anything like that. Now, or at least I don't know that they have that. I've never seen that. But a letter of reference from your campground, or at least say, I appreciate it. If you enjoyed me working here, would you, if I gave you as a reference, would you say something good or bad? And then if they say something good, then when you send off your resume, you can send references like I've worked here and here, and this is their numbers. And in Workamper News on your resume, you can put all that information in there.
Okay.
And they can, they can vet you just like they would a regular employee. Call Millbridge and ask whoever and say, hey.
What about my last one?
Hold on, wait, hold on. Oh, hold on, I got one before that.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why I'm saying I got one. They're your questions.
Okay.
Okay. Reservation software. Now,
There is new reservation software for most
yeah,
campgrounds.
I think that if you have an opportunity to look at one and study it or become familiar with it, it will be beneficial, regardless of the one that you end up using,
Okay.
because they're all about the same.
But there's no way to get access to that software to
Yes.
practice. There is.
Yes.
Without,
Yes.
you don't have to.
Yeah.
Really?
There's a program called Open Campground.
Okay.
You just go to opencampground.com, I think it is. And they have a model in there that you can make reservations and do all the things
On the new.
on Open Campground. Okay? So all the new ones, maybe not.
Okay.
I don't know if they do. They may. But I do know that Open Campground has one because I've played with it. And you can go in there and you can do a fictitious reservation and
Well, that'd be great
how
practice.
many months and how many days and how big's your camper and all that stuff.
Okay.
Open Campground. I know that because at the previous campground they had it because they were cheap and they didn't want to.
Well, at least I can say, well, I practice on open campground.
Well, here's the thing, and my wife started off in Open Campground, and then she moved to Campground Master, and now she's working with Camp Spot. And between all three, when a person walks up in front of you, they're going to give you the same information. And it's basically the same way to put it in. They're going to tell you my name, name, last name, first name, phone number, address.
Yeah.
So all that's just, different fields maybe, different, menu, but it's just information. How big's your camper? How many's in your party? Do you have animals? And there's check boxes for all these things. And at the end, it spits out a price and says, pay me.
Got it.
So, I think, I don't know. I think if you have an opportunity to study any of them, it's good. And I even go in there and look over his shoulder and ask questions because I'd like to try it one of these days. But,
Okay.
all right, now, last question.
Last question.
Okay, what's the last question?
10
of
of
6.
6.
What's this? What does this mean? LMFAO.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Question 6.
Question 10 of 6.
10 of 6, yeah.
Okay.
10 of 6.
Let me hear.
Yeah, go ahead. Can you see it?
Yeah. Normally one member of the couple works in the office and one works outside, correct?
Yes, that's true.
When the one with the computer skill does not want to work in the office, do I A, work in the office myself, and learn as much as I can as quick as I can?
Yes.
Or B, do I find a new girlfriend? What do you suggest I
Well,
do?
I know your present girlfriend, so I'm going to be very careful how I say this because she might watch this video. But does she mow grass?
Oh, she's landscape. She does the outside stuff. She loves that.
So maybe it's a switch of roles.
That wouldn't be bad.
I called down in Austin and talked to a guy about a job down there, and he was only hiring one person. He said, I need somebody for the inside. And I go, okay. I said, can it be me or my wife or both? And he goes, either or. He said, both of you could work in the office. I could have you on different shifts, but you can't work there at the same time. But he didn't want anybody for the outside. Cool. But he may have had a maintenance guy. He may have had a maintenance
Keep
guy.
that guy's name.
No, I didn't look at all 91 jobs today on Workamper News, but there's a lot of jobs out there. Now, we're looking. I was looking for myself at the same time, but my plans are just so messed up. I have indefinite plans, so I don't know what my winter season's going to be like.
No, you got time right here.
But I don't know. I saw gate guarding jobs. I might go down there and gate guard a little bit.
I don't know. I've talked to Agnes about that, and that's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But that 24/7, that's got to be rough.
1 month.
Oh, 1 month. You did it for how long?
I did it for 10 weeks.
And you have friends who are fellow YouTubers who are in New Mexico?
Yeah.
And how long have they been doing it?
Oh my goodness, they've been doing it for years.
And is that 24/7? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
God bless those people.
Actually, I think they're going through some difficulties, but
Okay.
okay. Let's see.
What else?
All right, here we go. We started off backwards. I was going to ask you a couple questions.
All
All right. So, how long have you been RVing?
I actually started like most people, 10. Got rained on one too many times and was given a choice.
Yeah.
So anyway, basically we started out with a pop-up.
Uh-huh.
And that's been 22 years ago.
Okay.
Had that for 7 years, went to the travel trailer, and now the Class C.
Yeah.
So 22 years.
Wow.
Love
You're experienced.
I like in camping.
Did you know there's a RV tech school down in Texas? And while you're there, they'll let you work camp to pay off your tuition.
Really? No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I think it's part of Workamper News.
Really?
I think it's a part of
know
that. Yeah.
Tools.
I know. What type of camper do you have?
Right now we have a Class C. It's a 2016 Quantum.
Yeah.
It's 32 feet.
And you don't have a vehicle to pull.
No. That's why we go camping with friends who have new trucks.
Vehicles and stuff. Yeah.
In case we need to go someplace.
So if you went full time, would you?
Oh, we get a tow. We've
a
already
tow.
been looking at Jeeps. I just wish a lot more cars would be able to be flat towed behind.
Yeah. You're
but
sort
you
of
gotta
limited,
watch that.
right?
You got to watch that.
All right. Here's the big question.
Okay.
Do you have a big timeline?
Well, we've talked about this before, and if it was up to Agnes and myself, we would have been gone years ago.
Yeah.
But I do have a mom that lives with me, and she's getting up there, and I got to.
And
I'm not in any hurry.
You got to. Well, it's a good point because part of the whole full-time work camping thing is family, and it is to some people so much of a disqualifier that they're not willing to do it, and that's okay.
But we are starting to do some of the things that fellow YouTubers suggest that you do before you actually leave. So we're starting to slowly downsize and go through a lot of stuff. And
Right.
So we're starting that process. So,
Yeah. Got you.
We'll get there.
It's a process.
It is.
And what was this last one? Oh, so you're Medicaid, Medicare, so you don't have to worry about any insurance. You should be good.
Right. And and that part is good.
Because that's a difficult one for the younger people that
it's a
want
choker.
to go full time. The insurance is terrible.
It's awful.
It's just terrible.
I mean, how many people, YouTubers, don't have insurance? And that's not right. Something's got to be done.
Yeah. Well, I think there's in my opinion, I think there's a whole market of YouTubers, or not YouTubers, I'm going to say a whole market of full-timers that is not recognized enough by industry in different aspects. I don't like internet. I don't think they have really come out with that one thing that, you know, solves all problems for full-time RVers.
Right.
You know, it's like the guy I went to T-Mobile and he said, you know, I don't know, we get like 25 gigabytes per month or whatever it is, and I don't even know. And he goes, well, you get 25, and I go, I go through 25 in the first 5 days of my thing. I mean, I live on YouTube, buddy. I mean, I am there all the time. And he's like, wow, that's a lot. The average is X. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not average. But, you know, that's just a whole nother, I mean, we do everything. Stream, YouTube, bills, you know, all kind of stuff. All right. Is that
One
it?
more question.
Oh,
I got one for you.
Okay, go ahead.
I've seen a lot of YouTubers talk who are, you know, my age or a little older, talk about an exit strategy.
Yes. Yes. Is this question number
12 of
12
6?
of 6?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you have an exit strategy?
I do.
Okay.
It's written in mud.
Okay.
We've talked about it. Now, my exit strategy and Jill's exit strategy isn't the same.
Okay. What's your exit strategy?
My exit strategy is at some point before I get too old, I'm going to buy a piece of property where it's very cheap.
Okay.
And property taxes are very low.
Okay.
And I could put a pad. I don't care if it's concrete or grass.
You're not the only one who I've seen that has that strategy.
Yeah. I'm the only one?
No, you're not.
Oh no, I think a lot of people do. But I want a place to park my RV, and I want to be able to pull in there. And I might get a shed, you know, so I could store things in it. Because right now I've got a small shed in the back of a guy's yard. When he sells his house, it's going to become a problem again.
Wow. Okay.
And
Jill's strategy?
Well, so that's sort of my strategy.
Okay.
I even look at, you know, maybe even like a little bit bigger than a shed. Maybe, you know, a living room and a sewing shed for her or something.
Yes.
But, you know, I don't know. But that's my strategy. And then I can go travel. And then when they have the next coronavirus, I can pull up over there.
Yep.
And I can just hang out. And that's my place. But I don't want a campground.
Okay.
I'd like to have my own place.
Okay.
But it could be a campground. Or
The right campground.
if I was single, it could be BLM land. But anyway, I'm not. I'm married.
Right.
So
Which means that's not
Right.
Jill's.
oh look. But so
wanted
that's my strategy. That's
Acre
what
or two.
that's what I'd like to do.
Acre or two.
Yeah, not even that big.
Okay.
I don't know. You know, it doesn't matter.
What's Jill's strategy?
I think she wants to buy a house.
Really?
She wants to settle down in a house, and
Your grandkids?
we'll do whatever we can afford.
Buy
But you know,
grandkids?
maybe. I don't.
That's a good strategy.
It's
Nothing wrong with that strategy.
we would probably sell the truck. We'd probably sell the camper if we could get anything for it, and you know, and just change our lifestyle. I think. I'd probably die in the camper if I was able.
Yeah.
As long as I can get up in and out of
Right.
it. But you know, we were talking the other day. You know, what happens when you get so old you can't go inside the camper, or you can't get up the camper, or what if you
Health
you know you
reasons.
got a bad leg so we don't know. But you know, we'd stop and do something else.
Okay.
Live cheap.
That's a strategy.
Well, and I don't know. She likes her house. She says she likes a house because it gives her stability. I said, you got a house. It's on wheels.
Right.
And
it's stable.
yeah, and it's ours. So I don't understand the problem.
I don't either.
Well, that was Alan, and he had
Way too many questions.
He had 12 of 6 questions.
Way
and
too many questions.
12
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah,
Appreciate
absolutely.
it.
It
Thanks
was
for having
fun.
me.
Yeah.
It was great. It was great.
I'm
Hit
sorry.
that like button and also subscribe. Come on.
Look at that
Help
thing.
them out.
Yep. And ring that bell and cha-cha-cha.
Till next time.
Well, that's our story for the week. I hope you enjoyed this story. If you did, click like down below and smash that subscribe button if you'd like to hear more stories like this one. New stories every week on Wednesday, right here on this YouTube channel. And ring that bell. If you ring the bell, you'll get a notification every time I post a new story. You don't want to miss one. Until later, thanks for your time. Bye. Really. Bye.